Hey everybody, happy May 4th. And to celebrate this holiday, I thought it'd be a cool idea to make a mock for every single movie that has been made. So first up, we're going to start with the prequels. For episode 1, there were so many scenes that I really wanted to do, from the pod racers to Naboo planes, but I ended up picking my second favorite scene, which is the Darth Maul duel with Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan. Specifically the part where Obi-Wan wins the battle. I really like how I got Maul kind of falling back, but such an awesome scene, great choreography by everyone involved. Up next for episode 2, I decided to do the Battle of Geonosis. Now, not like with the creatures or when the clones come in, but when it seems to be the end of the Jedi Order and they're all surrounded in the arena, right before the clones come down and save the day. I really like seeing all the Jedi together in one scene, and I really wanted to recreate that into Lego. Now for episode 3, one of my favorites, I decided to do the Battle of Utapau. Next to Kashyyyk, it's like one of the best battles of episode 3. So naturally, I got my 212th and my custom crab droid. If you want to build the crab droid yourself, I have free instructions on my Rebrickable page. You can find the link in the description down below. But yeah, very iconic battle, very iconic scene. Overall, I really like how this scene came out. And now on to the original trilogy. First up, A New Hope, episode 4, a classic, the first Star Wars ever made. So I decided to do the cantina scene. In specific, when Luke and Obi-Wan meet Han and Chewbacca for the first time. It's the first time the majority of the main characters are all together in one scene, excluding Leia of course, but she comes in later. It was the start of a great adventure between all these characters. Next up, for one of my personal favorites, episode 5, I had to do the Hoth scene. As many of you know, I'm doing a Hoth mock, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of test the waters, see how much detail I can pack into it and everything like that. So of course I did a trench, and it came out pretty good. I was able to add a lot more detail than I thought I would, considering it's a snow planet. But yeah, I just had a rebel trooper running through the trenches, and I'm really excited to start this mock. And finally, for the original trilogy, we have episode 6. I really like how this one turned out. I decided to do the final duel of the trilogy, Vader versus Luke. The only figure I'm missing is Emperor Palpatine, but that's okay. He's not very important to this scene anyways. I know we just got a new diorama of this scene itself, but I wanted to try my hand at it in a much smaller scale and for a lot cheaper. Overall, I think this thing turned out awesome, and I'm definitely going to keep it built for a little while. Alright, next up we got the sequels. For The Force Awakens, I decided to do the scene after Rey and Kylo battle and the Earth kind of breaks apart, separating the two. I thought it was a really cool scene, and they already made a set about it, so I decided why not. Very simple, but I think it came out really good. And next up we have The Last Jedi. And of course I had to do the scene in Snoke's throne room after he gets cut in half by Kylo and they start battling the guards. I really like this scene. It's one of the very few scenes I did like in the sequel trilogy. but I think they did this really well with the choreography and the cinematography. It was just a very, very awesome scene, so I had to make it into Lego. And finally, for the trilogy episode 9, I decided to do Rey meeting Palpatine. Out of all the scenes, why this? Well, I don't know, it's just the scene that I looked at and I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. This is exactly how I envisioned this playing out. Palpatine being gone so long, his body is just decaying and disheveled and everything like that. I thought it was really cool that he was being held up by kind of this robotic arm with all these tubes and wires hanging out of it. So I decided to try and make that into Lego. I don't have a Palpatine figure, so I kind of worked with what I had, so came out pretty good. And finally, for the standalone films. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any figures for the movie Solo, but I don't think most of you will mind that. So instead, I decided to do 2 Rogue One mocks. So for Rogue One, I decided to do, of course, the Vader hallway scene where he is just mowing through rebel troopers. It really showed the capabilities of Vader and how ruthless he was. So I thought this was a great scene to recreate. And then for the second scene of Rogue One, I had to recreate the iconic image that we all see with Jyn Erso in the Imperial outfit. It's a really, really great shot, and I wanted to try and recreate that into Lego. And last but not least, I did the Clone Wars. Now, when this movie first came out, I wasn't very excited, but after seeing the movie, I thought it was pretty cool. And then when the show finally came out, I was super pumped. We got a whole new line of sets, and it was just a great time to be a Lego collector. So I did the scene where all of our favorite characters meet up for the first time: Rex, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Anakin, to discuss battle plans on the Battle of Christophsis. But overall, a very nostalgic kind of movie and scene for me. And having them all lined up in a row is absolutely awesome. It's really cool looking through and seeing all the different scenes from the different movies, and just how large the Star Wars universe really is. But with that being said, let me know which one was your favorite, and if you had the option, what scene would you do? I hope you all are able to take advantage of all the awesome sales going on at lego.com and other retailers. And have a great May 4th. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.